Now with level 10s online, Samuro did go Blade Storm, so it's going to be that kind of push build that we see quite often. Tacitor and no person's land with the Tracer focusing and followed by that Varian able to get the kill. Not what you want to see when you're a Tacitor, to be all alone with the Tracer on you. We did have Black Hole, Avatar, Blade Storm, Curse of Bullet, and Blink Heal on the side of Yavapai. That we do see again, still Habitual Line Steppers holding a 28-24 lead. Level 13s with Habitual being about a level ahead, so Samuro not quite able to get. Imagine we do have the taunt on the Brightwing getting picked off. Murden trying to come in to help peel. We do see Black will come out, and that Malfurion getting rather low. Greymane pursuing, but the taunt on the Murden and the Root is up again. The Root and the Sleep, obviously. So sad, never any Broccoli's. Broccoli build, Malfurion. We do have Samuro again trying to get that soak. Both teams on even talents. With that, we do have now Habitual Line Steppers trying to start the siege on the bottom lane. Murden jumps in, but then is immediately stunned or taunted by that Variant, and then focused down.
Be swift, heroes. Do not let the Gravekeeper's cronies reach the altars.
A little bit of an ambitious jump or dwarf toss by that Murden. You go into a top Variant, you have no real escape. Right away, Habitual Line Steppers opting to take note. Murden's down. They're likely doing their camp, so let's fight them over it. And Yavapai concedes their camp, obviously, to live to fight another day or another level for the time being. Do have Dahaka secure the top camp, trying to get some of that pressure. And is that the silence? The silence is used on the Samuro and is focused down, but Samuro able to squeak away at the last second. Very close combo, almost securing that kill on the Samuro would have been very devastating for Yavapai. We do have Dahaka now mid lane having to be careful. Murden does get the stun. Polymorph, but able to use that Brushwalker to get away. And Hearth back and recover. All the while we do see Habitual Line Steppers do take the bottom fort. Able to secure that priority. We do have some of the sappers still being pushed at the taunt on the Greymane, and very good follow-up route does secure the kill on the Greymane. Brightwing almost goes down. Tracer's bomb on the Murden, but able to get away. Murden trying to help clear those sappers. Otherwise, we do have Samuro trying to do a cheeky play and cap the altar. In the meantime, we did have the altar favoring Brightwing, kind of Z'd in a bad spot. Tracer able to focus it with Samuro now, trying to focus or get away from that Tracer, and then the Murden goes down in the meantime as well. So real quickly, this now highly favoring Habitual Line Steppers, now with an 18-15 level advantage. But again, as I mentioned, you just need one core and you have a chance. Even with that, if you're Yavapai, You don't want to die. I was gonna say you just don't want to die. And spoke a little too soon. The variant able to go in and dive past the tower, get the taunt, and to follow up to secure. And this is exactly what you try to avoid on towers. Getting these staggers, late game staggers at this point, very much can swing a match. So if you are Yavapai, you want to get staggers, and if you are Habitual Line Steppers as well, but you want to avoid them to concede your advantage. We do now have Habitual Line Steppers about a level away. If Murden going in, trying to get that Malfarian, but this secure the Silent Tracer, but able to get away. And Murden's still a deep pops Avatar, but Murden just we're gonna. I guess when you're Murden, you can get away with a few things, especially when you have Avatar. And no, we didn't see a Haymaker, unfortunately, but does go in to secure that Chromie, or stun the Chromie, but is taunted, is tongued, but Samuro able to get the kill. And now this is exactly what you want to have happen. A couple deaths, but favoring slightly Yavapai. If you're Habitual Line Steppers, you gotta be careful. You don't want to continue the stagger. You have a good advantage, 28-5. You can concede. It's only one altar, so it's one of those where you kind of have to take a breath and say, hey, let's just reset. It's often you see kind of teams get into this circle or this cycle of stagger that just ultimately makes it very difficult to get back in the matchup. We do see Yavapai take that boss top. Almost a must. If you're Habitual, you just want to maybe play the map. Use the lanes what you have to secure some pressure. Maybe put Yavapai in a bad spot where they're having to defend sappers, they're having to defend the boss, and multiple altars. The next phase we don't see yet. We do have an engage. Variant does go down with a 3-second timer. Greymane getting rather low. The Hawker trying to go in and gets polyed by the Brightwing. Very good poly. Looks like that Greymane likely would have got hit by that tongue. Whether they would have gone down or not, who knows. But we just see Yavapai now take back their bottom fort. Next objective, altar, will be bottom, and it looks like with that again, wisely, Habitual Line Steppers are going to opt to just put some pressure on another part of the map. Looks like this is going to be theirs. If you're Yavapai, you probably should recognize that everybody's top. We need to trade, right? You don't want to just give up forts for free. Both teams are level 20. We do have Get Stuff, Glory of the Alliance, Essence Claws, Serenity, and Unraveling. We did have the Hawker dig bottom to try to secure kill, but you want to be careful. Again, gets polyed by the Brightwing. The Cursive Bullet does go out and does go down, but now you have a pie in the slowing sands. You don't want to be in that place. A Chromie can very much chunk a lot of the team, but now yet another stagger. So just like I said earlier, very quickly we had a 28-5 advantage on the side of Habitual Line Steppers. Now after those couple staggers, now it's 16-5. So that advantage is dwindling, and so Yavapai now opts to open up mid, get rid of those towers. Greymane is trying to clear top. And we do have about 2.5 minutes on boss, so still plenty of time. Even with those staggers, the lead was fairly large, and Habitual still has time, but we're now getting in that place of, you know, a team fight could potentially
The altar.
set up Yavapai to even win, right? Depending on what the outcome of the fights are. Level 20s are Force Barrier, Rewind, Wind, Strider, Hunter's Blunderbuss, and Invisible Friends for Yavapai. We do see Yavapai kind of positions themselves kind of aggressively. Murden does go, but does get chunked. Avatars pop right away. The Black Hole being followed up. We have Samuro in the backline focusing on the Malfurion. Now Tacitor being harassed by the Dahaka. Murden very low, has to jump away, but the Tracer trying to focus them down. Tracer getting low, but they do end up trading for that Greymane, and then Tacitor follows, and then looks like Murden goes down. And then with that, very much, that's only 4 though.
Gravekeeper.
Do have boss in 1 minute, so yeah, very much you can now kind of walk these sappers in. You would want to have someone to kind of take this down, and you don't want the sappers to, or at least all 3 of them, go in. It looks like they'll be able to get that bottom. At this point, you pretty much can't just go boss, because I mean someone has to stay here and defend. Samuro was able to go in the back and kind of clear those. Oh no, I thought they cleared him. They didn't. Very difficult defense for just a Samuro and a Brightwing. Brightwing trying very valiantly, but not able to stop the sappers. And we do have game number 1 going to Habitual Line Sappers. All right, and so a very dominant showing on the side of Habitual Line Steppers. We'll get to look at some of the stats as far as damage. Greymane doing quite a bit, followed by that Tracer. Then we did have Tacitor, or Chromie and the Tacitor and Tracer. Looking at the healing, about even amongst the 2, or between the 2. And the soaking, very good job on the Dahaka being able to keep up that soak against the Samuro. To mention that wouldn't be a problem until maybe later in the match. Switching over to the talents. I would say pretty much everything's what I would expect. Again, I forget that Hero Stalker also got nerfed. So maybe the other one is maybe a little bit better now, especially if you're going to be double soaking quite a bit. Everything else is pretty much what you would expect as far as builds from both of these. But with that, waiting to see where we're going to be going next. Move us over to the map screen. Oh, I put 0-1. There you go. And so game number 1 did go in the favor of Habitual Line Steppers, and that was selected by them. So now we'll get to see. It looks like we're going to be going to Infernal Shrines. Habitual Line Steppers did choose map pick again. As far as game one, very good. Just focus. Obviously, with the variant comp, the key is once you see the taunt, follow up and blow up whatever target is taunted. Again, very good job on the Dahaka being able to keep up with that soak. Not the easiest. That Tracer worked out a lot better than I thought. I thought initially that maybe it wasn't going to be super easy. You have a Muradin, super tanky. Even with Avatar, got picked off a couple times. Tacitor often was kind of having to deal with that Tracer as well. Obviously, with a Samuro, you don't have like another front line that can help peel. So very much Tracer was able just to kind of harass the back line, while Chromie was able to chunk people. So that would take a little break while we wait teams to get ready. I'll see you shortly. All right, never mind. As soon as I said, it looks like we're gonna wait. Everybody got in, and we started right away. So we'll get into game number 2. Are we going to see a Samuro in game number 2? I would say, arguably speaking, Samuro gets a lot more value on this map than on towers. You do see that Stukov ban again. I imagine most of the bans likely not going to change. I'll predict maybe a Chromie ban will come because that Chromie was able to do quite a bit of work. We do have that Johanna ban. I'm gonna say that I'm starting a petition of the do not ban Joe anymore. Joe is a good, solid, well-round tank, but is not oppressive. Unless specifically you have an opposing team player who only plays Joe, then that makes sense, but... We do see the Stitches ban again, so that would indicate probably a Chromie again. Maybe a Hammer. Though it's a little bit more annoying to play Stitches on this map with all the shrine monkeys, so as long as you fight in the shrines, you should be okay. We do have Brightwing, and speaking of Brightwing being the 3rd most popular hero behind Anduin, is that correct? Yeah, Anduin and Stukov. Yeah, Brightwing's number 3 with a 54.5% popularity in NGS. And either ban or pick. Banned 25% of the time. And we do see Garrosh and Chromie. Speaking of heroes who have more of a challenge, Garrosh also a little more knowing to kind of try to get those throws with those shrine monkeys. But we did have the Chromie. It did go through. I imagine now we have Bala. Bala's number, what is it, 4? Yeah, number 4 most banner picked. It's available. Bala open. Hogger open. Junkrat open, but we do see a Blaze and a Kel'Thas. Obviously, Kel'Thas not bad here. Any hero that can do damage on the shrine, so do damage to heroes and do damage to the shrine monkeys are good, right? If you get a 2/4, that is ideal. Another hammer ban. I would arguably say, yeah, that's probably a better ban here. Even if you have a Garrosh and a Chromie. That's one of the things. You have a Garrosh and a Chromie. Are you really that scared of a hammer? Chromie does make life a little more difficult for your hammer. And Tyrant. So that's pretty much the same bans except Dahaka. Dahaka is the only different band this time, I believe. We have the next few picks or a couple picks for Habitual line, but we do see Anduin and Leoric. Anduin wasn't banned or picked last time, I believe. Anduin being the number 2 most popular banner pick. And we see our Diva and Phoenix. Diva, not often do you see. This is probably one of Diva's better maps. Obviously, being able to use Bomb for the objective is useful. Blaze isn't bad anywhere. Yeah, Blaze is, I would arguably say, the best overall offlaner.
Victory for the Forsaken.
And we do have Sylvanas. You always forget about Sylvanas, and you know that hero can is very broken and turns off towers and forts and keeps. Slips through and gets picked up by Habitual line steppers for the last pick. All right, so with that, did post up the predictions. Choose the team you think has a better draft or the ones you're cheering for, and I'll see you in game number 2.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
All right, welcome back. As we start out with our introductions for game number 2. Peldor is on the Leoric Janitor skin, right? That's what we have going on with the new update. No more heroes on the Sylvanas, Boomer on the Chromie again, Turtwig on the Anduin, and Vern on the Garrosh. You have Phoenix in up back, so it's Shane. You have to tell me, you have the character later on it. Is it Shane or Shan? Shan on the Phoenix, Andrade on the Blaze, Serlin on the Diva, Aura on the Kel'Thas, and Galactos on the Brightwing. And I just realized that we have a Blaze tank. They actually have two very annoying options. Actually, I just realized that's very good. We have a Blaze tank who's kind of annoying for a garage to some extent. And then we have, Blaze getting kind of low. Does go down in it first blood. And a Diva who also is annoying but also goes down. I was about to say that Blaze and Diva, for different reasons, are annoying for a garage. Obviously, a Diva can be tossed in, can kind of use the ability to get out. Blaze is very, very beefy. I think next to Stitches and Cho'Gall has the third most HP, base HP. And then with like the Talenting, shielding, armor at 1, and then the armor trait, and then with level 16, right? Can have something of an effective pool of like 10k plus, which is actually pretty crazy. See at the talents, it looks like we're going to be having it is a new habits, so going for that unstoppable quest makes sense against a garage. You do have the garage looking for a pick on that. I like the idea, but there was no one next to that garage, so even if they did get that pick, don't think much would have been accomplished there because of that. We do have a Phoenix versus a Leo, which should be a fight that favors Phoenix. Leo usually doesn't have a good time against ranged offlaners. We do have the first of the shrines in the bottom. Both teams pretty good timing on their bruiser camps. Looks like Brightwing's going to stay top to kind of help clear that. Although they're staying up there, see if they can get a gank on that. We do have Brightwing being picked off and does go down, but it looks like they're going to be trading that kill for the objective. I do like that idea, but maybe... well, I guess with the Sylve, you're... looks like we do have a pause coming up. It looks like we did have someone disconnect. Looks like few of both members of both teams are having some lag. Might be just because of the update, you know. As everybody says, small indie company. But yeah, real quickly, I guess I can talk about those updates. Did they go through the PTR this past week? Other news? Yeah, the patch notes. So again, I was mentioning that earlier about kind of the big nerf to the ban timers. It was reduced from 24 seconds to 15 seconds. And then the first round was from 40 to 25. But it looks like they realized that should only be implemented to the Storm League and not kind of to custom games. So they did change that, so that was good to hear. That could have been potentially very annoying, especially for custom games. Obviously, you want to be able to plan out and discuss your bans. It's already kind of feels like a rush at times, so decreasing that by 10 seconds definitely would have been more challenging. Okay, it looks like we're still waiting, so I guess this might be someone still trying to reconnect. So I'll move over to kind of... Okay. Looks like they had to restart. Maybe I'll switch over to the map select again to update those who maybe have joined us in the meantime. Just a reminder for those who may have joined us just recently, game number 1, before that actually, we did have Alterac Pass and Garden of Terror being banned out, with Brax by Habitual Line Steppers, and then Brax's Holdout and Dragonshire being banned out by Yavapai. Game 1, map pick by Habitual Line Steppers was to Towers of Doom, one by Habitual Line Steppers. And then game number 2, map pick, as well by Habitual Line Steppers, taking us to Infernal Shrines, and we're still waiting for a disconnect to go back in. I guess that's always the danger of playing on a patch day. I guess for us HOTS players, it's new, right? Having a patch day. I haven't consistently had those in a while. Alright, it looks like both teams are back. Alright. Alright, looks like both teams are readying up and we can get back to the action. I think they were asking if I was ready. I am ready. Alright. As we get back into the action, we did have Brightwing go down. With that camp, we do have Sylve obviously then being able to use Trait to shut off that fort, and it looks like we'll be having an old-fashioned race or trade-off. Leo trying to stay bottom, help clear that, but I mean, obviously it looks like bottom will be trading forts. Oh, that looks like a misclick. D.Va using bomb into the middle of nowhere, but I mean, I guess we're trading forts and keeps. Oh, and it looks like we have another disconnect. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh no. I mean, well, guess I'm gonna get a quick little bio break. All right, a bit of an update. Looks like they're still trying to connect, but I believe both teams are ultimately going to have to make a decision, unfortunately. But I guess we'll wait for a little bit more. I think, per the rules, there's only so much time that can be delayed before either a decision has to be made, either to play with the player not present or forfeit the specific game. Although, yeah, we've had this happen before where we had somebody disconnect. I forget if there's a threshold that if it happens within the first couple minutes, that you can just, if it happens within the first couple minutes, you maybe can agree to restart the match. But we're almost at minute 5, so of the match. So I don't know if that would qualify it. All right. If there's any of the NGS peeps you might want to message, teams. All right. Looks like we're just gonna go with a bot. One of those kind of odd situations that we see once in a while, unfortunately. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to be going with the team Habitual Line Steppers who had the player disconnect. Going to be opting to continue with a bot. So we're going to go back into... And it looks like we're going to have it. They're just gonna agree to. We're just gonna try to end this match and see who can win what first. Because with the Sylvanas, I guess we're going for a 5-minute match after that wait. And Leo trying their best to slow down this onslaught. It's pretty close, both teams. We do have Blaze go down 31 to 36-5, and it's gonna be favoring Yavapai. Wow, 5-minute match. I guess after that kind of very long discussion about what's gonna happen, that ended up being in game one of the shortest matches that I casted. Although there's a very lengthy time in between. So, although there was a kind of a very dull moment for about 10 minutes or so, waiting to figure out the collection, but both teams kind of opted to say who can race and finish off this match. We did have Peldor on Leorc with the top damage, but obviously I think the stats and such are going to be kind of skewed a bit since it was a rather quick match. Let's go 5-2. All right, well, I guess GG's to both teams, and let's see if I can get I don't know if you want to do a interview. Let's see. Kind of an odd kind of matchup, obviously, because of the disconnects and such. Let's see if we can do it. I'll jump in case they want to do an interview. All right. As we look at the talents, officially a 6-minute match. We did have that Sylvanas be quite a bit of value, obviously. Like I said, stats and such are going to be a little bit misleading. But let's see if we can get an interview, or see if they even want to do an interview. Obviously, because of the odd matchup.
Hey, Dark Knight, we can't go into this coin toss. Only captains and casters go here. Do you mind going to a different lobby?
Wait, what was that?
Some people can't go into this lobby. Only captains and casters can go in
Oh,
here.
that's right. Sorry. I am.
All right, thanks.
I switch over. Thanks. What channel can I join? I forgot that. Yeah, it's only casters and such. What channel is available? Yeah, you just moved me. There you go. Or no, this is wrong one.
Oh, this is right.
For you have a pie.
Oh, where habitual line steppers?
Oh, okay, yeah. Habitual line steppers and such. Well, Peddler said you couldn't join, but you could?
We could join this one, but the other coin toss you were previously in was locked for us.
Ah, okay, that's weird. Okay, anyways. I know it was a little bit of a hectic situation. But anyways, congrats on your victory.
Thank you.
How you feeling after this matchup?
Me personally, I feel great. It was a nice shake back from being dominated against last week.
Yeah, obviously, I did cast up your match last time. I did talk to both of the captains a little bit before. I know there was a little bit of history, right, between the two teams in the past couple seasons.
Me and Turk aren't sure. We were added this season, so we're not sure of the past history.
All right, well, listen up. Let me tell you a story. No, if you look at the history, I think both these teams have met quite a few times. I think so far it's been 4-0 in favor of Yavapai winning all the matches so far, and so this would be technically the first match that the team has won against Yavapai. But congrats on him contributing to that first win. Going back to game number 1, as far as that matchup, what was your strategy going into game number 1 on towers? As far as your picks and such, I know you got a Chromie. You very much banned out the stitches and the hammer, right? And so, what was your approach then, getting rid of those particular heroes and what you wanted to achieve in that particular matchup?
I do believe we just didn't want to see the hammer with the long range, especially in an offlane situation. The stitches, we wanted a comfort ban.
Okay.
We didn't want to see the long range hooks late game.
Yeah, it makes sense. You picked a Chromie. Stitch is very much good into that. But then I did mention it was kind of odd because Chromie does pretty well into a hammer. So I figured, well, if you have a Chromie, you wouldn't be as worried, from a hammer. But obviously, if it's in the off lane, then a Chromie wouldn't be as effective versus a hammer. But very much early on, you were able to kind of impose your will with that taunt variant combo, and you picked a Tracer at the end after they had picked a Samuro. And so was that already a pick that was planned, or was that like a kind of decision made at the end after you saw the Samuro pick?
I think Heroes picked it at the end. After he'd seen all the picks.
Oh, nice. I mean, yeah, and that's a very good pick, because I did mention, obviously, they have a Samuro and then they have a Muradin, but not much peel, right, after that. And so the idea is a Tracer, I thought was maybe going to have trouble, but ended up doing pretty well into their comp. So, going on to the rest of the match, you're very much leading. It was like 28, I believe, to 5. But I did mention before that very much this map is one of those maps where you only need 1 core health, right? And very much turn the match. And then a little bit towards the end of the match, we did see kind of a shift in the momentum. Yavapai was able to get a couple kills, and then real quickly then got rid of that advantage. It was down to 16-5 towards the end. So what were you doing to kind of keep yourself in the match and in terms during that kind of adversity there?
We just played a little safer until we got all our guys back. We had kind of staggered near the end there.
Yeah, and that's very much what you want to try and avoid. And so, but it seems like it's one of those things where it's just kind of like a cycle, right? It's just kind of it can get out of hand real quickly. So, was there anything said or anything you kind of dealt or you did in order to kind of, hey, we gotta reset or anything?
I'm not sure. Do you know, TJ?
I feel like it was kind of simply as that. We just said, hey, we need to stop staggering deaths, just play safe until we all get back. And at least from my perspective, I was kind of like on the ropes, and then I saw that the 2 towers popped up, and I'm like, okay, we can probably get at least one of these here. And now I'm going to feel a lot safer.
Yeah, and I think it was fortunate that in your staggers, it was only either 1 altar, I think, in both those times. So you weren't really punished for it, because actually if it was like a 3 altar phase or a plus, it could have potentially led to even a loss, right? Because of that. Right. But I think your staggers happened fortunately during a 1 altar, both times during 1 altar phases, that meant you weren't punished too much for that. But anyways, you were able to kind of secure that and then get the win in game number 1. And so you did select towers, and then you went into game number 2, which obviously very brief, shrines. And so very much we saw the same bands and kind of picks, so that you kind of have. We saw the Sam in that first game. Was that going to be a pick that was a concern for you in game number 2, or you kind of felt that you were able to deal with that Sam in game number 1?
I was a little concerned, but I had shifted to a different role that game. Peldor said he had it covered, so when he said that, I kind of was like, okay.
Oh, that is true. I did notice there was a bit of a shifting in your roles. So is that something that you kind of is your team approach, right? That you're able to cover different roles as needed?
Yeah, most of us are fills. Like, not fills, but we're flex.
Great. I mean, obviously, that's very useful when you're having to kind of try to tap into your strengths as a team. Obviously, we'll get into the game real quickly. And so it went into a very interesting kind of positioning with the objective bot lane. Your team then kind of surrounded that Brightwing and then opted to kind of get that pick. And then very much, right, besides that little lengthy pause, bio break we had in the middle, it was pretty much off to the races. So what was the kind of the decision at that point?
We decided with all the server lag, we were just going to do a boss rush. I mean, a base race.
Yeah, we did see kind of obviously a little bit of a lag. I think the hamster who's running the servers got a little tired. And so,
from what I heard, it wasn't just Heroes. I think it was the entire Blizzard servers.
Oh, really? So all the hamsters got tired.
Right. World of Warcraft too, is what I heard.
Oh yeah, the whole Blizz system is crashing. I wonder if that's a DDoS. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. But anyways, obviously, we had a lengthy break, and then we had a very exciting finish, and then it was pretty close into the end, right? It was about a 15% or so difference, so very much could have gone both ways. But with that, I did secure the game number 2 and the domination, so that puts you now firmly in first place again, correct? Yeah. And so, how are you feeling moving forward? I guess this ended the first cycle of the round robin, correct?
Yes.
So now that you're moving on to the second cycle, what are you looking forward to? As far as any teams, any rematches?
That'll be our rematch against 30 Seconds.
I'm going to be scared to see Rage again. They were a tough first match for us.
Yeah.
Nice. And so I guess that's nice and bad thing about this particular style of double round robin is that if you had maybe a bad matchup or maybe you had laggy servers or such, right, you get to do again and get to face those teams. But otherwise, that means other teams also have another shot at you, correct?
Right. I mean, we're looking forward to it. You know, it's been a very fun season for us so far.
Well, with that kind of wraps up everything I have, right? It was a kind of a quick matchup, especially for game, which I think that's technically the fastest. It was 6 minutes and 20 minutes in game, right? Obviously, a little bit longer outside of a game. But I mean, I tried to cover both of the races at the same time. It was kind of hard to kind of go back and forth, but very much were able to prevail. But with that, I'll leave it up with any shout outs or anything you would like to say to close us out for tonight.
I think Peldor secured our win there because he did get a kill, I believe, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think it was a kill on the Blaze.
It slowed their base race down a little.
I guess also shout outs to the janitors working hard overtime.
I mean,
shout outs to Yavapai for this good match.
I mean, the janitor was in the match, so you can't blame him, right?
Yeah.
He was in the match, so he couldn't work on the server lag. It was kind of like an in-game joke we had during the pause.
Yeah, I saw that. The idea that obviously Leo was playing in the match, though. But anyways, with that, thank you very much. Congrats on your 2-0 domination and moving up into first place, and look forward to potentially casting you in the future matches. And hopefully we can avoid some of these issues, these small indie company issues get ironed out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Good one, and enjoy the victory with your team.
Yep, thank you.
All right, and with that closes out our cast for this particular evening. Did we have a relatively short one with a 2-0 victory in favor of Habitual Line Steppers over Yavapai County Municipal Youth Chess Club and Swim Team, the Samuro Clone Wars. There you go, I got it. I only said it a couple times, but anyways, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'm going to pass you off to one of the other channels. I believe Toki B is still casting, and so I'll have those who are still here pass you off to that particular channel if you want to continue with the NGS action. But otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.